Okay, good afternoon, all of you. Very happy that you were able to reserve some time to be with us so that we can share the results of our membership survey. Maybe before we start, I would like to go through some household rules. Whoops. So, on the left you have the screen where you will be able to see the presentation. On the right you have the control panel. There you have a little icon with a hand at the end when we will be opening and giving you the floor to ask some questions. You should push that little hand if you would like to ask a question or to comment on a certain part of the presentation. I would like to also ask you to turn off all the internet-related programs because that might interfere. Also, please use a headset that will be better for the sound, and ensure that you're muted. So we keep all the questions for the end. You can always also start collecting your questions in the chat below that you have on the right-hand side. Okay, so now we will start. Kurt, I'll give the floor to Kurt.
Yes, good afternoon all. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Kurt Peelman. I'm the CEO of EVPA. Thanks again for joining this webinar and for showing your interest in the results of the membership survey. For us, that's of critical importance because EVPA is obviously a membership association. And we always say that membership is part of our change theory, basically. We think that being a membership organization which attracts a wide diversity and also a growing number of members and in a sense keeps them happy and offers value to them is core to how we think we can build the venture philanthropy and social investment sector. And so from that perspective, it is very important that we indeed deliver value to our members. And so the membership survey that we made, one of the main objectives, but Christine will dig deeper into that, is that it will show clear what value we offer and what more value we could offer for you. So thanks again for already giving your information before, which allowed us to bring those results, and thanks again for joining today. Christine, up to you.
Thank you. Okay, let's dive into these survey results. I'm sorry, I have some problems here with... Okay, good. So maybe a bit of history, how we got there. You should know that we have had two previous membership surveys, but this one, the one of 2014, will be the benchmark for the next surveys for us. We organized two different sets of questions, one for the full members and one for the associated members. And the survey was open for only 2 weeks. We thought it was important to have this very tight timing in order to advance, to collect all these answers and to then start analyzing it. We also, among those who participated, chose one winner who won a ticket for one of their investees to our Madrid conference this year, and we also found we also awarded 6 smaller prizes, namely in our newsletter a description of one of their projects. Okay, 64 responses, 27 full members, 37 associated members. We think this is a quite good representation of our membership base. Of the full members, we had half VP foundations and half VPSI funds, and of the 37 associated members, there too there was a very nice representation of the broad church that we want to be. We had service providers, VP service providers, financial institutions, academics, foundations not doing VP, we had a hedge fund, we had also network associations, that completed the survey. So we think it's a very good basis to start this analysis on. Here also very briefly the geographical spread of those respondents. 17 countries contributed to the survey. Okay, now EVPA's impacts. We ask you to assign points to the activities that we organize in order to identify what really gives you value, what you really prefer within our activities. And what we saw is that you rate our annual conference very highly. So 35% of you like the annual conference. Next to that, country meetings, thematic groups and site visits are very interesting to you. We took those results to build our 2015 annual plan, but we'll come back to that at the end of the presentation. Okay, the types of knowledge you appreciate. That was also a question within our survey. And there we saw that you really value the best practices best. So you like specific information, you like cases. And so based on this input, again, EVPA will focus this year on best practices. We are also going to dig deeper into the industry survey. There won't be an industry survey this year, but we have a lot of data from which we can learn still a lot, and that will be the focus this year. As to what the research on target groups is concerned, we started last year to analyze how corporates can be contributing to increasing the resources going to VPSI, and that report will be coming out this year. We also ask you what type of information you like to receive. You receive information through the newsletter, through the blog, through our social media, and there we heard that you like specific examples of how to implement certain aspects of VPSI, and you also like specific cases best. Sector trends and news are also of your interest, so here too we will integrate that into the work plan, and later more on this. As you know, we have a person that is dedicated today to policy. She is liaising between the Commission and our members, also with the national authorities, to see how we can build a more fruitful VPSI community, and there we asked how important that was for you. And 66% of you said that it was important, that EVPA collects your expectations and voices them to the national authorities and to the European authorities. So here again, Elinor will be in charge of this and will be working very specifically on these two aspects. On this question, there were also some open, we also received some open answers, and there we could see that there was an appetite for more EU-oriented work and for the sector in general. First of all, you said to us that it was important to build a more fruitful infrastructure for social enterprises and for the enterprises that are supporting those social enterprises. You also said it was important to share the best practices from the different environments and to get out of the local and the national constraints, to be informed how in other countries they were implementing certain policies. You were also interested in getting updates on EU regulations, on news, on reflections, on consultations. Here too we will be focusing on providing you this information. And finally, a number of you said we have definitely, EVPA definitely has a role to play in influencing the European policy. member contribution. On this question, you indicated you wanted to contribute to EVPA activities in several ways. A number of you said, half of you said that you were very happy to host an event, and thank you, this is really great news for us. Writing or co-writing a blog, this is also very important to us. As you know, we have 10 blog posts that we plan each year, and to have your contributions in that is really key for us. About 1/3 indicated that you were keen in contributing to the newsletter and also in conducting a training. As you know, we have this training going on in Barcelona and Brussels, the VP in practice. There we can count on some of our members to contribute, but during the year there are several events where we are looking for ambassadors, people who can share best practice, and we will reach out to you for this. Okay, and these were the slides I was referring to prior, is how we have been translating this into our work plan of 2015. I warn you, it is maybe a complex slide, but I will talk you through it and it will be very clear afterwards. So, no, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. There was still here this part. For us, as you know, the mission of EVPA is to be the natural home as well as the highest value catalytic network for a growing number of VP-SI organizations. So we asked our members how important this network, being part of the EVPA community, was for you. And nearly 90% of our associated members said that we were their very first network. 65% of our full members said that EVPA was their first network. So this is a fine result, and we're very happy to be rated this way and appreciated this way by our members. Our objectives. One of our objectives is to increase the effectiveness of the VP-SI practitioners in Europe. So that was also a question. Was being part of EVPA, has that helped you to increase your effectiveness? And there, 50% amongst you said yes, being part of EVPA helped us to become more effective. Through the webinars, through the workshops that we organize, through the collaborations that they have been able to set up, through the publications, through the networking and the training academy where they have sent staff to, and also by having the EU impact measurement standard now recognized by the Commission. All of these elements helped you to become more effective, and we're very proud of this result, and we hope to do as well or even better in 2015. You know that when we organize events, we always look to have a right balance between the networking and the learning. And we asked you, do we have the balance right, or do you want more of this or more of that? And there, 72% said, yes, you have the balance just right. So that's great news for us. 26% said, well, if you are to do something different, something more, just do more networking. We got that, and we integrated that in the work plan. And this was the more the slide that's what I was referring to, that was maybe a bit more complex. We tried to put in 2 slides the different activities and researches that we undertake this year, so that you have an idea and see where you can contribute to. So these are more the learning parts. On the learning parts, you have the site visits, and the site visits are planned in Greece, Norway, Austria, France, and Spain. The site visits and the field trips. The site visits are in those markets where VPSI is quite well established. And the field trips are in the countries where VPSI still needs to be supported, to be more supported in its development. That will be Spain, Greece and Norway. We have a number of webinars. So we have this webinar on the membership survey. Very soon there will be the webinar on the industry survey. As you know, the industry survey report was published earlier this year, and the Knowledge Center is planning a webinar on this to provide you with the results of this industry survey, to inform you about the latest trends on that on the 12th of March. And I believe you received an invite for this today. And then we also have 4 webinars on European policy. And the first one is on the 5th of March on social impact bonds. And then there is a next one on funding. You will find all the information on our website, also with the dates. And finally, and this is in the starting blocks, we will foresee an induction webinar for the new members. And then finally, we have thematic groups. The thematic groups, we started with them last year. We have one on gender and one on employment. And again this year, we will facilitate two workshops on this and dive into these topics. Most probably gender will be on due diligence, and employment on very specific, on a very specific aspect, I believe, of youth employment. But there my colleague Elena will keep you informed. And finally, the research, very specific research. We will be diving into impact measurement, and we will provide you with 2 case studies. The first case study will be presented in Paris. And then we will also start looking at non-financial support. And there our Knowledge Center is now looking for a number of member organizations that are willing to help us on this research. And finally, by the end of the year, we will update the publication establishing a VP organization that will be ready by the Madrid conference, more or less. So this is more on the learning, the research part, and then more on the community, on the connecting part. You would have the country meetings, which are this year scheduled in Belgium, the UK, the Netherlands and Italy. We have sector building events, which can be compared to the country meetings, but again in those countries where VPSI needs to be supported a bit more, where we open also to non-members in order to grow the community. And there, as you see, we will be in Greece, in Denmark, in Romania, Croatia, Portugal, Ireland, Poland. And you see there the corporates. These are separate stakeholders. These are stakeholders, and I referred to it earlier in my presentations. We think it is also important not only to geographically focus on how we can increase the number of players in the VPSI sector, but also look at stakeholders that can be integrated in the sector. And this year we will have a special target the corporates. Finally, building the community. You indicated you wanted specific pathways to be able to contribute, to connect, to reach out to your fellow members. And so we are now finalizing the membership portal, where you will be able to connect to your peers. That's a members only space where you will be able to log in from our website. We hope to be launching this next month. As said, very happy to have your contributions for the newsletter, for the blog, and again, through the social media, we try to always push not only ours, but also your research, your best practices, and very happy to receive contributions to that. I leave our two flagship events for the end because they are really not only on the connecting, but definitely also on the learning. We have the gathering of leaders for the CEOs of our full members, as usual in the spring and as usual in Venice, and the annual conference, as you've heard this year, to be in Madrid, end of November. The date, unfortunately, has not been settled yet, but it will be soon. Okay, so what are the next steps for us? When we look at the results of what you said to us, we think we're quite happy actually, and we think EVPA is indeed on the right track. That's what you say. And you indicated specific items where we can improve. So thank you for that, and we hope that with the plan that we just briefly presented, that this reflects indeed what you indicated. We also understood that you want us to become more community driven, for members to connect and to learn and to contribute, offering concrete pathways for participating in your EVPA. We will be working on that. The induction webinars I was referring to will be a first step in that, but obviously the newsletter, the blog, and all the hosting meetings are definitely part of it too. We also read that you would support a clearer positioning and branding of EVPA, in which we strengthen our leadership position to represent this growing and this growing sector, a sector that is becoming every day stronger. So there too we will make some efforts. And now, we had a more creative question within our survey. We asked you to associate EVPA with an animal. And we had some very creative answers that we would like to share with you. So the first one, gosh, this is not working. Okay. The first one, some of you said EVPA is like a horse. It's energetic, it's high valued, it's shy. Others said you're like a bee, you're smart, industrious, you fly from flower to flower collecting the nectar and making connection. You saw us as an owl, wise and watchful, up in the air, identifying trends. Some of you mentioned the cow. Cows are devoted, curious, sensitive, apparently also a 360 angle view. Didn't know that. Many of you said a dog, friendly, loyal, caring. An elephant, very impactful, long-lasting, fierce, big memory. And finally, an octopus. Octopus with its tentacles connecting, very dynamic, flexible, swimming through the European waters. We like that very much. And we asked our designers, we asked our designers to make like a hybrid animal out of all of these. And I wanted to share with you, it's like a primeur. You're the first one to see this hybrid animal that EVPA is. And this is the EVPA animal. I hope you like it. We liked it a lot here at the office. Okay, so now, maybe before giving the floor to you for questions or for remarks, just wanted to point out that these survey results are brought together in an infographic that we will put on the website, and that I'm very happy also to send if you would like it in your mailbox. So now the floor is yours. I first need to look how I get back to my screen so I can see the people who want to raise hands, but I hope this will be, there we are. So, if you have any questions, I would like you to raise the hand with the little icon that you have on your right, or you can also use the block part at the bottom part of that right screen. And also I have Kurt here next to me. Maybe Kurt, you want to add something to this presentation? We will share both like this.
I have nothing to add. Looking forward to the questions and the comments from the participants.
Okay, I don't see any questions.
So from our side, we would obviously be interested to hear if you recognize this, or if you would think there are some things that are missing or that you don't recognize.
What I might do is maybe unmute you, because I can't see any hand raised, and I don't know if it is because of an IT problem. I'm not so good at those webinars, so I will unmute you, and this way I guess that we might have your question just orally then. Can that? Okay, well.
Hi Christine, this is Fiona here from Genio in Ireland.
Hey Fiona, how are you? Good to hear you.
Hi. Thought I better test it out. Thanks for the presentation. I thought it was very interesting, and I think certainly from our perspective probably reflects a lot of what I've heard discussed from different members. I'm just wondering, is the infographic that you showed at the end, is that available on the website where it shows the kind of the top line results?
It will be available. We wanted to have first the webinar to share it with the members who registered, and I guess that by tomorrow morning it will be on the website.
Great.
According to the presentation, the amount of the total cost, the amount of the cover, otherwise you see it's kind of common. Yeah, total cost common, that's why. Yeah.
Maybe if there are no more questions, obviously, we're happy to close also the meeting. I think we thought it was very important to share this already with you, and we will share it soon with the broader community. So thank you very much for participating, and looking forward obviously to connecting all through the year with you. We don't want to only have a contact once a year when we present the membership survey. As you saw, we will be present all over Europe the coming months. So we definitely hope to meet you there, or either through one of our upcoming webinars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you also, Stefania, for your comments. We close this. We close the webinar now. Thank you again for staying with us, and see you very soon at one of our upcoming events. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.